Yesterday, we were introduced to the topic of PEMDAS. Today, how can we simplify expressions by using order of operations by grouping symbols? So we know that when we're looking at PEMDAS, it means parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Another way you can remember it is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, because this is the method we're going to use as we approach expressions. So when we're looking at, for example, this particular expression, we know that we first need to address anything that's in parentheses. And so see here we have 7 minus 3. It's in the parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross that out. And I see 7 minus 3, of course, is 4. What I'm going to do now is bring down the multiplication sign in this integer. So it's 4 times 4. And I see I've got no exponents. But the next step, of course, is to multiply. 4 times 4 is 16. So our answer is 16. Nice. Let's take a look at this next one. Do we have parentheses? We sure do. Do we have an exponent? Yep, along with divide. So I can see it says 4 plus 5 into parentheses. That's the very first thing that we're going to do. And 4 plus 5 is 9. We're then going to always bring down the rest. And I now see it's divided by 3 squared, or 3 times itself. Now we've got an exponent. So before we divide, what we're going to need to do is multiply 3 by itself. So it's 9 divided by, and I know 3 times 3 is also 9. But another way we could do that, just so you guys know, is if you're using your calculator, you could very simply go to do exponents. You're going to do 3, and then the squared sign. So to the diagonal of the 7 above the log key, you could simply press that and press enter, and it's 9, same thing. Or if it was like 3 to the third, for example, you can do 3, and then click the key above the divide symbol. It's that little arrow, and then press 3 to the third, and the answer is 27. That's 3 times 3 times 3. Nice, great. All right, so now we got 9 divided by 9. The answer, of course, is 1, because a number divided by itself is always 1. Wonderful. All right, PEMDAS, we know that the very first thing that we need to do is figure out what's in the parentheses. And here we've got 3 minus 8. And so 3 minus 8 is negative 5. And so I'm going to bring down everything else. Okay, and so now when we've got a symbol in front of parentheses and there's no number, we're going to pretend that a 1 is there. There's like an invisible 1. And so now I can see it's negative 1 times negative 5. And so negative 1 times negative 5 is always going to be a positive, and positive 5. So we can simply write that. And then 5 minus 9, we know it's 5 minus 9 because we're bringing this over, we're bringing this down, and 5 minus 9 is going to give us negative 4. So when we look at this expression, we recognize that the very first thing that we're going to need to do is address what's inside the parentheses. 8 minus 4 is 4. It's positive 4. We're going to now bring down the rest. So I can see it's bringing down the divide by 2, the 20, and the subtraction slash negative sign. So what I know now is that it says 20 minus 4 times 2. So what we can do now is do the multiplication. And I'm going to put a 1 in front. And I know that 20 is going to simply go down because we're not doing anything with this yet. But negative 1 times 4 is going to give us negative 4. And so we've crossed off the parentheses. There's no exponents. We just did the multiplication, and what's left is divide. So I'm going to bring down the division sign. And so that's next. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Or negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. We'll bring that down. Wonderful. And now what's left? 20 minus 2 is very simply 18. That was a little tricky. There's a few steps, but if you follow PEMDAS, you should be good. All right. 2 plus 6 is going to give us 8. We're going to bring down the parentheses, and I can see we've now got an exponent. So what's 2 to the third? I know that another way to write 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. one more time is 4 times 2 is 8. Or we could just go into our calculator. And I'm going to do 2, up arrow to the third. And that's another way to get the very same answer, 8. And so I can see that 8 minus 8 is what? 8 minus 8 is 0. So the answer is 0. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please let me know. Good luck.